Yassas and welcome to Greek News Global. I'm John Mangos. In this bulletin, Germany points to Greece as a leader in European productivity. Greek troops hit the ground in Gaza. 4 Greek beaches make the top 20 in the world. And Novak Djokovic says he feels Greek after relocating to Athens. But first, German Chancellor Friedrich Merz has sparked a fierce debate in his home country by pointing to Greece as a model for working harder. In a twist of history, Merz praised Greece's new labour laws, which allow a 6-day work week in some industries with extra pay, arguing Germany needs more hours on the job to protect prosperity. He criticised Germany's sick leave culture and warned shorter weeks won't sustain the welfare state. The irony, Greeks work the longest hours in Europe, but Germany still leads in productivity per hour, according to OECD data. Once Europe's cautionary tale, Greece is now the example Berlin is being told to follow. United States President Trump has held a credential ceremony for the new Greek ambassador to the US, Andonis Alexandridis. The president stated the bilateral relations between Washington and Athens have never been stronger. Calling Greece a valuable partner and ally, Mr. Trump highlighted significant potential for deeper cooperation in shipping, trade, energy and investment. During the White House meeting, the president expressed his deep admiration for Greece and noted his desire to visit the country. He also specifically praised Greece's progress towards the NATO defence spending goal of 5% of GDP, noting that Athens demonstrates true leadership within the alliance. The US ambassador to Greece, Kimberly Guilfoyle, has described Greece as an indispensable ally and a leading energy gateway to Europe. Speaking to the Nisyros Dialogues, Bridging the East Med Forum, Ambassador Guilfoyle highlighted Greece's growing strategic role in the Eastern Mediterranean, particularly in energy, security and regional stability. She praised cooperation between Washington and Athens, pointing to infrastructure projects and expanding defence ties as key pillars of the partnership. Her remarks come amid a heightened geopolitical focus on the region and Europe's ongoing efforts to diversify energy supply routes. Still in the United States, where the Archbishop Iakovos Fund, Leadership 100, has approved more than $6.5 million in new funding for the Greek Orthodox Archdiocese and affiliated ministries. The decision was made at the group's annual conference in Phoenix, greenlighting 42 new and continuing grants supporting clergy training, youth and young adult programs, and digital ministry, Greek education, church music, social outreach and major national gatherings. Once distributed, Leadership 100's total contribution since its founding will reach an historic $89 million. Leaders say the grants are aimed at strengthening faith, culture and community across the Orthodox Church in America. Still on the Leadership 100 conference, Archbishop Elpidophoros outlined his bold vision for the future of the Greek Orthodox Church in America. The Archbishop revealed 2 major goals, including transforming Hellenic College Holy Cross into the first Greek university in the United States and moving the Archdiocese Cathedral to New York's iconic St. Bartholomew's Church. He also delivered a clear warning against far-right extremism, saying the Church must never serve ideology, but remain a place of faith, humility and spiritual renewal. With conversions rising and families increasingly drawn to orthodoxy, Archbishop Elpidophoros said the Church is growing and now is the moment to rise and build. Greece has taken a major step towards becoming a natural gas producer, with new offshore energy agreements signed at the Maximos Mansion. In the presence of Prime Minister Kyriakos Mitsotakis, the Greek state signed lease deals with Chevron and Hellenic Energy, granting exclusive exploration rights in maritime areas south of the Peloponnese and Crete. The deal almost doubles Greece's offshore exploration area and comes as Europe moves away from Russian gas. The Prime Minister said Greece wants to produce its own energy and help supply Europe, while the US ambassador and Chevron both described the agreement as a strategic and historic milestone. Greece has announced it will participate in the International Stabilisation Force in war-torn Gaza. The presence of a Greek battalion in a hotspot in a region close to Greece represents a departure from an approach followed by other governments in the past of not getting involved in volatile regions. The Greek involvement in the multicultural effort to bring stability in the Middle East, part of the Gaza peace plan agreed by Hamas and Israel last October and mandated by the United Nations. It will not be confined to a secondary role, which was the case in Afghanistan, where the Greek contingent dealt with the distribution of medical supplies and humanitarian assistance, help in construction, and clearing minefields. This time, the Greek component will not only be made up of medics and engineers, but will instead have armoured vehicles and will take a more active role in managing the situation and consolidating the peace and guarding security. Yanis Varoufakis is set to return to Sydney to take part in an event organised by Dr. Helen Vatsakopoulos as part of the 44th Greek Festival of Sydney. The Greek economist, politician and author will be hosted at the New South Wales Teachers Federation Conference Centre in March to discuss the topics of democracy, the rise of fascism and his latest book, Raise Your Soul. The book shares the stories of 5 women who have influenced his life, providing a portrait of ordinary Greeks living through some of the most tumultuous events of the 20th century, such as World War II, the Greek junta dictatorship and the Greek Civil War. And you'll be able to hear more from Mr. Varoufakis when he appears on Uzo Talk in March. South Sydney Rabbitohs chairman Nick Pappas AM got more than he bargained for recently after uncovering files related to his grandfather's involvement in World War II. The discovery included letters from famed English writer and scholar Sir Nicholas Hammond addressed to Nick's grandfather, Nikolaos Papanastasiou, with instructions for an upcoming mission. Speaking on the latest episode of the Uzo Talk podcast, Pappas relayed the discovery and the impact it had on his family.
My grandfather had a boat and he was working for British undercover operations in the Aegean. So we found just recently at the Public Records Office some amazing documents about that he'd never told anyone about his operations with the British.
Wow.
Guns that have never owned stuff, blowing up German boats, pretending they were fishermen, going up next to a German boat or an Italian boat and then bombing it.
Wow, unbelievable.
Blowing it up. He worked with a guy called Sir Nicholas Hammond. We never knew any of this. My father, they had some letters that were signed Nikos to Kapitan Nikola from Nikko, written in beautiful Greek. And he would say, θα πάτε στο λιμάνι της Λερού, or στο λιμάνι της Σίμης, θα κάνετε τη δουλειά.
And you can hear the full discussion with Nick Pappas right here on the latest edition of the Uzo Talk podcast. Staying on World War II, recent discoveries have shed new light on one of Greece's darkest wartime tragedies. Photographs believed to show the execution of 200 Greek resistance fighters and political prisoners by Nazi forces in Athens in May 1944 have surfaced publicly for the first time after being listed for sale online. The images are thought to depict moments before the mass shooting at the Kessariani shooting range, where German troops killed the men in reprisal for attacks by resistance fighters. Until now, there's been no known visual record of the atrocity. Greek authorities say the photos may be authentic, and experts are travelling to Belgium to examine them and discuss securing them as part of Greece's cultural heritage. The discovery has sparked emotional reactions, including from descendants of those executed, and raised debate over how such wartime material should be preserved. TripAdvisor has unveiled its 2026 Traveller's Choice Awards for the world's best beaches, and Greece has emerged as one of the standout performers. 4 Greek beaches have been ranked among the top in the world. Crete dominated with 3 of their beaches in the top 20. Elafonisi Beach secured second place globally, followed closely by Balos Lagoon in third. Falasarna Beach was placed at 11th, while Corfu's Paliokastritsa Beach ranked 14th. The annual rankings are based on millions of traveller reviews and ratings collected over the past year. Tourism officials say the strong showing further cements Greece's reputation as one of the world's leading summer destinations ahead of the 2026 season. British universities are expanding their presence in Greece, launching new campuses under recent changes to Greek law aimed at boosting international education partnerships. The reforms allow foreign institutions to establish branches in collaboration with local providers, marking a significant shift in Greece's higher education framework. Several leading UK universities are now moving to set up programs in Athens and other major cities, offering degrees validated in Britain while operating on Greek soil. Officials say the move will attract international students, strengthen academic ties between London and Athens, and position Greece as an emerging hub for transnational education in the Eastern Mediterranean. To sporting news now, and Greece's athletes continue to compete with pride at the 2026 Winter Olympics in Milan Cortina, showcasing resilience on the international stage. In alpine skiing, Alexandros Yinis made headlines not for a podium finish, but for a symbolic final run, marking the end of his competitive career at the Olympics. Meanwhile, teammate Yannis Kouyoumzian delivered a solid performance in the men's slalom, finishing inside the top 40 against a world-class field. In cross-country skiing, competitors including Nefeli Tita and Apostolos Angelis have gained valuable experience in endurance and sprint events for Team Hellas. Although Greece has never won an Olympic medal at the Winter Games, its athletes continue to demonstrate determination and a national pride on the snow and the ice. Their efforts reflect a growing spirit in winter sport, even as the nation looks ahead to future campaigns. Greek-Australian athlete Manos Milios has added another distinction to his list of kickboxing achievements after winning the WKA Intercontinental Light Heavyweight Championship. The Greek-Australian secured the title in front of a packed Melbourne pavilion. He won the title by defeating experienced New Zealander DJ Edwards, who had 30 bouts and a world title claim under his belt. And tennis champion Novak Djokovic has spoken openly about feeling Greek as he settles into life in Athens after relocating from Serbia with his family. Having lived in Greece for almost a year, Djokovic says the move has begun to feel permanent. When asked whether he feels Greek, Djokovic said, "I do. I still need to learn Greek. I'm not very good with the language. It's not easy."
Καλησπέρα, Ελλάδα. Σ' αγαπώ. Τι κάνεις? Καλά. I'm still working on my Greek, but γεια σου φίλε, γεια σου.
Djokovic and his wife Jelena moved to Athens with their 2 children following a period of political tension in Serbia where the tennis champ faced backlash after publicly supporting student protests following a deadly railway collapse in Novi Sad. And that's it for this edition of Greek News Global. I'm John Mangos. Gya σας και να είστε καλά.